This week on My Classic Car, we'll make our way out to Joseph, Oregon for the Oregon Mountain Cruise. They're coming in from all over the Pacific Northwest for this one because cool cars and spectacular scenery always makes for a good time. Plus, we'll look at carpet and floor mat replacements for your ride. Hi, I'm Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning into My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Well, this week we're in one of my favorite places on earth, Joseph, Oregon, for the Oregon Mountain Cruise. Joseph is this cool little town at the foot of the Wallowa Mountains, and this is the 21st year for the show that takes over Main Street for a day. Now, Joseph's not a particularly easy place to get to, but I gotta tell you, I'm absolutely blown away by the cars that have turned out for this show. Rather than just talk about it though, let me take you on a little tour and show you some of these fine mountain rides. Hey Chuck, how you doing, man?
Dennis, good to see you.
Man, Joseph, Oregon. I love this place. I just love this town. It's so beautiful. What a place for a car show.
Oh, it's a great setting. Main Street, right down the middle of town. Got the mountains in the background.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, these are like the Alps in North America.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody even knows they're here.
Well, some people do.
Well, we don't want to let it out.
Yeah,
Seriously,
no.
right on. But you've been doing it how long? 21 years?
21 years.
Yeah. And it got started how?
Well, just a small car show, the Hudson Club and a truck club, and we had about 28 cars, and then it grew from there.
And I mean, it's not a big show. You're a couple hundred, 250?
Yeah, 250, about 250 average, yeah.
But the quality of the cars is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think, well, people like to drive their cars, and it's an early show in the season, so
Yeah.
I think people like to bring their car out. They've been working all winter, and it's a nice drive.
Well, you know, and this is mountain weather. So, I mean, in fact, up in the mountains right now, it's pouring down rain.
Yes.
It's still nice here.
Yes.
But, you know, when you come here, you're kind of committed. You know, rain or shine, you're going to be at this show because you came a long way to be here.
That's right. That's right. And there's only two ways to get here, so.
Both of them quite nice, though.
Yes, nice drives.
Nice ride. Well, man, you've really done it up right. I love this town. I love your show, man. Let's look at a few cars before I have to get serious.
Hey, sounds good.
Let's go. Wow. Matt, a 47 Dodge Power Wagon?
It is.
Now, if this isn't an Oregon truck, I don't know what is.
It is an Oregon truck.
Now, has it lived its whole life out here?
Yes.
Where was it built?
It was built in Los Angeles, California, and shipped to Portland, Oregon in March of 1947.
Oh, so it was sold in here like brand new, basically?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Then what was it used for?
It was sold to a farmer in La Grande who used it around his farm, and then later on some people bought it, made it a wrecker, where it went to where nobody else could go and pull stuck cars out and stuff.
And this looks like it would go where nobody else can go.
It did.
Holy cow. Can I?
Go ahead.
Now that's a fender, man.
That's a fender.
Did you have to beat that out?
I've ground more metal off this than most cars are built from. That's right.
Well, you know, pretty original interior. I mean, you dressed up the seats a little bit, but otherwise, that's pretty much how the 47 Power Wagon looked, didn't it?
Right, except I put some gauges in the middle.
Okay.
That the original ones worked, but I thought that those were, you know, more accurate.
Which is nice.
So
it's nice
I
to
put
know
it
what's
in there
going
so
on.
I could watch things.
Now, do you still have the same straight six that would have been in it?
No, I put the bigger 6 in it.
But still a six. Let's go look at that.
Okay.
Wow. Man, that's a pretty beefy looking six.
Well, it's the next bigger size. It's a 251. They originally came with a 230.
Uh-huh.
And which they're talking about 92 horsepower to 125 horsepower.
Well, it probably makes a difference in hauling something this
It did
massive.
make difference.
Yeah.
It did make a difference. Yes.
But did she fit okay? It looks pretty tight in there.
Well, I had to modify the front motor mounts and move the radiator forward a little bit to get it to fit in.
Wow. Well, she looks great, man. And do you drive it? I mean, you use it
Well, not a lot, but I do get him out and take him around the
for
Grand.
this kind of an event. You bring it out.
Oh yeah, I drive him everywhere.
Man.
He never.
And do people really dig this truck?
Yes, most people do.
Have you had it at the Joseph show before?
I've been here once several years ago.
It's a great event, isn't it?
It is a great place to go. Beautiful mountains.
You can't beat the setting.
You can't hardly beat it.
Hey
no,
man,
you're right.
thanks for bringing Old Blue out.
Thanks, Dennis.
Beautiful
Appreciate it.
47 Dodge Power Wagon.
Power
Power
wagon.
wagon.
Power.
Coming up, we'll check out more from the Oregon Mountain Cruise. But first, we'll look at carpet and floor mat replacements for your ride.
My Classic Car is brought to you by Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance.
Hey, I got Edgar Solar from Classic Industries in the shop with me today. Edgar, how you doing, man?
Good. Great to be here, Dennis.
Man, it looks like carpets, mats, sound deadening. We're talking some interior stuff today, aren't we?
Some floor covering and accessories.
Floor covering and accessories. Well, like now in the 60s, a lot of cars had molded carpet setups, and that's what I'm looking at out here. That's for like a Nova, right?
Yeah, this is a 62 to 67 Nova. It's a pre-molded carpet. It's the original 80/20 loop style.
Already has the heel pad sewn in?
It's got a pre-sewn heel pad. It's also comes with a grommet for your dimmer switch, and it also features a 36-ounce jute padding that's sewn into the back of it.
Nice. Now, front, back, trunk?
And that's an optional trunk, you know, to accompany your interior carpet. It wasn't necessarily an original piece, but it's kind of like an optional upgrade.
Yeah, if you want to kind of make it continuous all the way through, right?
That's
correct.
correct.
Now, that is the 80/20, the loop that they had
Yes,
stock,
the
and
loop
looks
style.
like you have all the OE colors, and then looks like a few more, perhaps.
Yeah, it's
Quite a few
possible
more.
to get some of these, but we typically stock the OE colors.
Now, this is a different look. This is a plush or what is
Yeah,
this?
that's a cut pile style carpet. It was typical for GM on 75 and up vehicles.
Oh, and now how about this?
That's the tuxedo carpet. You can see it looks just like the 80/20 loop, except it's got kind of like a black and gray pepper
Yeah.
finish to it.
Once you got the new carpets in, you might want to protect them with some mats, and you guys also have all a bunch of different mats depending on your
Correct.
model. I see a Pala, Trans Am, Camaro, all cut to the correct size and everything?
Yeah, it's all cut to your floor pan, and it's even got some optional embroidery upgrades too.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Really dress it up.
Personalize it.
And then the vinyl mats out there with the bow ties and the Pontiac Arrowhead and even the bird on them.
It's all die cut. It's got an anti-skid rubber back, so it doesn't slide around on you. It stays in place, and also you can wash it after it gets dirty,
Hose it down, put it back in
and
there.
it looks just like new.
I like that. Well, of course, now sill plates always got beat up. You've got the kind of the official reproduction Body by Fisher sill plates.
That's correct.
But what's this?
This right here is going to be the carpet wire guard that goes directly underneath the carpet next to the sill plate. This is typically used on a 67 to 69 Camaro, and you'd run your wires from front to back.
So you
and
don't
would-
pinch them and your
Correct.
electrics actually work after you've done it. Well, that's great, man. And since this is all correct tooling, all the tabs and everything are in the correct position, just screw right in place,
Yeah,
right?
they just screw right into place.
Now, how about this guy?
That's going to be the 67 to 69 Camaro carpet guard, firewall carpet guard, and this goes directly under the steering column, and it mounts with 2 additional fasteners that you just put in.
Which, of course, you have too.
Also.
Of course. Now, sound deadening's getting more and more popular all the time. This is some of the higher tech stuff here, right? This is a hush mat.
Yes, this is the hush mat. This is the sound absorbing foams. You could use this on, roof panels, various interior locations, and it helps eliminate the noise greatly. This right here is going to be the foil backed, rubberized stuff, and you can put this anywhere. It sticks to anything. And we also have a black version of it, so if you want to use it underneath the dashboard.
We don't want it shining back at you.
Correct. It looks kind of black and
Yeah.
OEM.
Now, this over here is more of a kind of just a generic,
Yeah,
regular
that's-
sound
That's a
deadening.
generic jute style, insulated material there with a foil backing. Again, to help eliminate all that heat and noise.
Now, how about these little black guys down here? What are those?
Those guys down there is actually the original OEM style paperback mastic that you would find, on a car that just rolled off the assembly line. So
That's the correct, if you're doing a Concours
correct
restoration.
Correct.
It's correct, but it doesn't have the tech, right? Doesn't have the high tech. Well, it seems to me like when it comes to floors, you guys basically have it covered there with all these OER
Pretty
components. Well, hey, if you want to learn anything more about these carpets, the mats, the sound deadening stuff, OER stuff from Classic Industries, log on to myclassiccar.com. These are nice to have because I really like the electrics to work.
For classic performance products, cruise over to the Speed Shop Mall at EggySpeedShop.com.
Next, we'll get back out to Joseph, Oregon and the Oregon Mountain Cruise. Welcome back to My Classic Car. Well, Steve, I saw you tooling around town in this yesterday, and man, I chased you down. This car is magnificent. You know, I'm a Studi guy to begin with,
Right,
but
right.
this is a 53 Studebaker Commander, but it's a convertible. This is the car Studebaker never made.
They made one prototype, but they never put it in production.
I mean,
you know.
this is phenomenal, and it's a beautiful job. Now you built this car, right?
Basically, well, somebody else started it, and
yeah.
I finished it. You know,
And
so-
you're telling me it didn't really start life as a 53 Commander.
Well,
What-
actually, the basic car was a 56 Golden Hawk, which
Uh-huh.
is the same body and frame, but the
different sheet metal.
the sheet metal. So then they got a 53 Commander for the front and rear sheet metal, and then some of the trim is GT Hawks later, and you
Mix
know,
and match.
there's some 55 stuff and whatnot.
But gosh, this is a gorgeous car. They called this the Lowy Coupe, really designed by Bob Burke.
Right.
But I mean, to make this a convertible, and it looks to me like you've even, dropped the windshield back a little bit, have you?
Well, you've got a good eye, Dennis. Yeah, we
I
did
thought-
just a little bit, just
making
to
it
sleek it up
even
a little bit.
more sleek.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
gosh, it's just gorgeous. And the interior though is pretty Studebaker.
Yeah, the front that's the stock 60/40 seat. The back now, that's Dodge Dart stuff, which is what we use for the.
Is that what
top.
you made the convertible out? Dodge
yes,
Dart?
Dodge Dart. Yeah,
okay.
that's what the header and the bows and all this back here is all Dodge Dart, and then from here up is Studebaker. So.
Wow. Now you don't still have a Studebaker power in this, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well,
Yes,
can
I
we
do.
go up and look at it?
I think we could.
All right. Wow. Man, that's packed in there. So that's the 289 Studebaker engine, right? Supercharged?
Right, exactly. It's what they call an R2. It was out of a 63 Avante, but it's a factory supercharged Studebaker engine. It's been upgraded a little bit.
Yeah.
We added the air and it's electric fuel pump.
That is packed in there. But to have this car, and I mean, to have done what you did to this car, and it's just so stunningly beautiful, and then to still have it powered by not only a Studebaker, but an R2 Avante supercharged Studebaker engine.
You got to do it right.
So this is a great show, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great show. I love it.
What
Love
the-
it. We've
And,
always had a good time here.
I'm telling you, Steve, this is the most beautiful Studebaker I have ever seen.
Well, that means a lot coming from you, Dennis.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Beautiful car.
Thank you.
Still ahead, we'll scope out more rides at the Oregon Mountain Cruise. Welcome back to My Classic Car. Well, Andy, this is a Joseph, Oregon vehicle if I ever saw one. This is and you're from Joseph, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Man, this is a serious snow machine. It's a Jeep, right? A
Yeah.
75
CJ5. Got an original 304 V8 in it with a few little Edelbrock modifications. And
But what's the
obviously
deal on these?
The snow tracks, aren't those cool?
Those are
Yeah.
very cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we decided, a friend of mine, Mike, has got these tracks, and he calls me one day and he goes, I got some tracks that'll fit your Jeep. I go, I'll be there tomorrow. And then we loaded up on the truck, took it up to the mountain, and started playing in the snow. And
So you just slapped them on, basically? They went up here? So how
it's
does it work? I
about
mean, is
30
this the
minutes.
drive?
Well, the drive, yeah. This is the drive, okay, and it bolts right onto the axle right through there like your tire does. So you pull your tire off, you slide these on, put your lug nuts back on, go to the back, do the same, and head for the hills.
I mean, you can't drive around in the streets with it.
No, not really, and it doesn't steer quite
Yeah.
like it does with tires on it, but it maneuvers pretty good out in the snow. Works
So,
really
and you've
good.
taken it up in the back country
Yep,
and bombed around for a while?
Oh yeah. Took a barbecue up there, and and had a good time.
Now inside, have you worked on it, or is it just gnarly Jeep?
No, just pretty much gnarly Jeep. You can see I've got a different steering wheel on it. I put a shift light in it.
Yeah.
And a few things. I mean, a bunch of switches because I have extra lights. I built the rack for it, to haul gas cans and stuff. And that's it. It's still the original seats, just with covers and, just a few things I've done.
So
but
it's just pretty raw.
it's just, and it's just for function. It's functional.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Well, it's funky functional.
It is. That's true. And that's what's cool, too.
It is very funky functional. Oh man, I love this. All right, man. Well, thanks for bringing it out.
You
The
betcha,
75
man.
CJ with some serious tread.
Yeah, real serious.
Well, Forrest, man, this is an interesting car. I saw you rumbling through town, and I wanted to catch up with you. I like what you've done with this. You've done a lot of kind of unique stuff, and you guys, you're from around here, but what, Palouse, Washington, right?
Palouse, yes.
About 150 miles north?
Yep.
And you drove this baby down?
Absolutely.
Through Chief Joseph Canyon, Rattlesnake Grade,
Absolutely.
and lived to tell about it. Well, tell me about this. I mean, what am I looking at here?
Well, most of it's a 30 Dodge. The cowl and back were wadded up in a burn pile.
This stuff here?
Yep.
Okay.
It didn't have a door. We found a Chevy pickup door with a similar belt line and cut it to fit.
And then how about the engine and everything? What was the donor for that?
I got a 54 Bel Air as a donor that gave up the front drums, the motor, the steering box, gauges, a few other parts here and there. But I guess by weight, it's a 54 Bel Air.
You know, I never would have recognized that. But you've done a lot of really innovative things here. I mean, for instance, there's no radiator. This is not an air-cooled 235. What's the deal?
That's correct. I didn't have a grill shell that I liked for the front of it, and I wanted more of a Bonneville streamlined type nose that I never got around to building. So to accomplish that, we plumbed the radiator in the back.
So your radiator's back here?
Yes.
And then you piped it up through there?
Yes, we did.
And you've punched out the trunk lid here, and you get enough airflow? Does it work?
It does, it does. With the shape on the back, the air rushing over actually draws a lot from it. So on the highway, I can flip off the fan.
Uh-huh.
And the gills
I love the gills, man. So those are functional to cool the radiator, which cools the engine, which is up there.
Yes.
Well, you know, you almost have a Daytona coupe look going back here. What's the grill?
The grill is actually a Kenworth smokestack protector.
Oh, then you flattened it out?
Yep.
Oh yeah, and the taillights, they look...
I believe they're 54 Kaiser.
The engine's a 235 inline six, 4
Correct.
carbs.
Yep.
They're what?
4 Rochester 1 barrels.
And how about the manifold?
The manifold is part of that original Chevy 235 driveline out of the Bel Air.
What part of the driveline?
The center.
Center. You really? And you made that into a manifold?
Yep.
How's that work?
It seems to work pretty well with the length of the runners and with the heat to keep the fuel suspended.
So have you been to the Joseph show before?
I have not. This is my first time.
What do you think?
I love it. There's a lot of variety and there's a lot of good stuff.
I'm blown away by the cars, and this is one of them that blows me away, man. This is really cool. Nice
Thank you.
job, J. Loppy kid. Cool rod.
Thank you.
Stay close. We'll check out more from the Oregon Mountain Cruise in Joseph, Oregon.
Brought to you by Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance and by U-Coat-It, the official floor coating of the Eggy Speed Shop.
Welcome back to My Classic Car. Well, Carrie, this is one sweet ride, and this baby is yours, right?
Mine, all mine.
37 Ford, but she's a fiberglass car, right?
Correct.
It's a what kind of body?
O's body.
O's body. Wow. And you've had it for how long?
About 3 years.
You know, I love the story, but this was sort of a, you wanted this, but you didn't get it, but then you got it.
Exactly.
Don't you love it when a plan comes together? So
I did.
What was this? Hot August Nights car, right?
It was a Hot August Nights car, and I walked through Silver's auction,
Yeah.
and there it sat, and it was ready to go over the block, and I'm like, oh, I have to have that car. I have to have it. That's the car. And my husband drugged me out of the auction. And this was in August, of course, and then my birthday was September, and little did I know that after we had gotten home, he had purchased the car.
He bought the car, and it was a birthday
shipped
present?
it up and hid it out in a friend's garage for about 2 weeks.
And it was your present, your birthday
And then
present.
it was my birthday present.
Wow. You know, I'd hang on to that guy if I were
I
you.
think I will.
Well, it's really nice. Now, and you're telling me she's not really a show car. I mean, you drive this baby, right?
I do drive it.
What I like about it is she's just so clean. I mean, it's just so clean in every way. And I like the silver is like almost a Mercedes or something. Right?
It's PPG, Brilliant Silver, and that's what
The Mercedes
he
uses. But even the interior, I mean, just incredibly understated, incredibly clean. I like the symmetry of the dash. Your instruments are very stately, you know.
Classic instruments, yeah.
But you know, it's got such a chop on it. Can you see out of it?
It's hard to see, but with me being short, I can do it.
You can do it. Well, you know the other thing is you should never sacrifice style for functionality.
Exactly.
You know?
It's all about the style.
And you obviously haven't in this case. And it's a great thing about these glass cars; they can do just about anything they want. And that is almost a dead flat back window.
Almost.
But man, slopes down. Looks like caddy taillights.
Correct.
So what makes her so hot? What's under the hood?
She has an LS1 Corvette engine.
Well, you gotta love that. You know, let's have a look at it.
And there she is, Dennis.
Well, I'm gonna have to take your word for it that it's an LS6 under there because you can't see it. But that's kind of cool. Like, and I guess here again, it's just that whole clean theme.
Just flows.
Just flows. And man, I love that. Is that polished stainless on the sides? I mean, I can still see the engine even under the cover.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty cool. So you like the clean side, but for the real
for
gear,
the guys.
For the guys, you know, you can still see the engine, and she runs great and everything.
She runs beautiful.
Oh man. So I don't know if you could bring a more beautiful car than this. She's just as clean as she can be, and like you say, she's hot.
She's hot.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dennis.
Beautiful car. Wow. Oh man, we had a blast. Joseph, Oregon is such a beautiful place, and there are cars at this show that will knock your eyes out. You know, this is at the base of one of the best backpacking ranges in North America, and when this is all over, I'm going up there. Next week, we'll travel to Hamilton, Ohio for a look at a couple way cool rods. The Dynaliner Coupe and the Dynasport Roadster combine old school style with the best of today's technology. Plus, we'll check out the latest options for insuring your classic machines. So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.